morning, everyone. If you are new to my channel, my name is Nicole. Please subscribe and like. If you are returning, welcome back. Today is a meal prep video. I did most of it yesterday. I did have to get up early this morning to finish it up. We had my grandson yesterday and overnight, and just a very chaotic day yesterday. So I've been up since 4 to finish. I have one more thing that I'm making, but I'll get into that later. So let's get started on this video. First up is breakfast. So I still have my overnight oats in the morning and my shake in the afternoon. So I take my overnight oats to work and I do it with the consistency of like a shake instead of doing it the consistency of oatmeal. So you have the two different options. And I take my shake as my snack now, but if I have the overnight oats and I don't like the flavor, or sometimes I don't want to say the texture gets to me, but sometimes trying to drink the oats is a little bit too much for me on some days, where just because I have the issue with the fibro and the flaring sometimes of my throat. So I will have my shake those mornings, and then I will have a little single serving package so that I can have my shake in the afternoon for my snack as well. So far it's been going pretty well. I think last week there was one day I didn't particularly care for the flavor, and it wasn't that I couldn't have finished it, but I had a shake, so I'd rather have something I enjoy. And then one other day I just couldn't swallow it comfortably, I guess. So I did make some breakfast sandwiches also this week. I have really been craving breakfast sandwiches, and this way I can kind of get the sweet and the savory at the same time. So I got the keto waffles. It's the first time I have tried these. I got Johnsonville breakfast sausage, combined two together. I have a little pan that is the perfect size. They actually are the exact same size as the waffles. And then I made my eggs in it as well. And then everything is the same size. So my son tried one, said they're really good. I have two in my freezer wrapped in parchment paper in a freezer bag. And then I have one sausage patty left over that I'm going to have for breakfast this morning with some eggs. For lunch this week, I have fajitas. So I diced or sliced up some peppers. I did orange, red, yellow, and green, and an onion, and I tossed them with a little bit of the fajita seasoning blend. This fajita seasoning blend, you guys, this stuff is amazing. It was delicious. It's Kinder's. It's in the spice aisle where like all the gravy packets are, is where I found it at my store. And then I put just enough to season the vegetables, and then the rest I put on the chicken, which my husband grilled, and I'll show you guys in the next clip. And then I also got a carne asada Kinder's flavoring and put it on some steak, which I don't know what the hell happened to that picture, but it's the same brand Kinder's. It says carne asada. That stuff was good too. So I will be having either variation, either steak or chicken fajitas. So what I'll do is I will, the night before, I will toss some of the peppers and the meat in a pan, and then put it with a portion of rice, and then I will also do like a little small salad with some lettuce, guacamole, and tomatoes that I can have with the fajitas. So yeah, I don't want to do the onions, peppers. I don't want to cook it because then they just kind of get slimy. So I will cook those the night before, like when I'm getting my lunch ready for the next day. I will just toss them together and throw them in a container the night before. But everything's already done, like the chicken's already cooked. So what I'll end up doing is I like mine crunchy anyway. So I will end up probably putting the peppers in the pan for like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, and then adding the meat into it and just getting it until the meat is warm. And I don't even need it that warm because I'm going to be reheating it the next day. I have a little Hot Logic at work that I will, in the morning when I get there, I will put it in the Hot Logic and it'll warm up by the time it's my lunchtime, and then I'll just eat it. So chicken and steak fajitas for lunch this week. Okay, so this is the grilling. So I have the steak in the carne asada, I have the chicken in the fajitas, and then I also did another chicken, and this is a Kinder's garlic and herb, and then a Kingsford lemon pepper. So I have these just in case, like I want to throw it over a salad or um, just so I have some extra on hand that is not fajita flavored in case like I get tired or bored of the fajita stuff, which I mean I doubt, but I mean I love Mexican food. I mean, I'd even have it for dinner with some fried eggs over it or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But I did want something else just in case. So bless my husband, he always grills all my stuff for me. So he took a picture of the stuff on the grill for me so I could, kind of show you guys, you know, it grilling and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you guys know what grilled food looks like, but yes, we do actually grill the chicken. And I am actually looking forward to the protein setup this week. So let's see. And yeah, for dinner, it will probably end up being, like I said, because I'm tired. So I do have freezer meals still in the freezer. I really didn't get to them last week just because I was kind of sick last week. So my husband just usually warmed me up some soup or something like that. Or I think like the gluten-free pancakes and stuff like that is what I ate a lot last week, just not feeling well. So I do have quite a few of those still left if I do need them and I need a quick meal. I'm trying to set things up a little bit better so that I won't need to do stuff like that and eat fresher stuff. So this is all of our stuff that we grilled up for this week. And then I'm going to show you real quick in the next clip what the boys ended up eating for dinner. And I'll explain that in the next clip. Okay, so last weekend we had actually taken some Italian sausage out, and since I hadn't been feeling good, we ended up not eating it, and I didn't want it to go bad. So I had just gone to the German bakery down the street from the gym I go to, and I lived in Germany for a couple of years while my ex-husband was in the Air Force and learned a lot of cooking and stuff like that. And these these seasoning packets actually were there. And when we found the German bakery and I saw them, like I bought a ton of them. And then we ended up running out, and I had gone. I think I went Sunday because I was feeling a little bit better on Sunday, and I went on Sunday, and I got these, and I wanted to try a new one, and this one's new. Don't ask me how to say it because I'm going to just screw it up. But it's like a paprika. To me, it tastes like a paprika spaghetti sauce. So I used Italian sausage. I browned up the Italian sausage, threw the seasoning packet in with a can of diced tomatoes and some water, and then you simmer it down. And then I put it in freezer bags and labeled it for, whatever the boys would need to do with it. And I gave them two options. They could, defrost it, put it in a saucepan and warm it up and just boil some noodles on the stove, or they could do the one pot wonder and put it in the Instapot. So we actually did that night. I had taken it out that morning, knowing I was going to be cooking. Usually we do a roast. I forgot to take the roast out the day before. We're actually going to have a roast tonight because I did end up taking it out yesterday morning. It's now thawed, and it will go in the crock pot here shortly when my grandson wakes up. So threw the noodles in the Instapot, put some water in there. And I did not put enough water in. I'm used to making bigger batches. So I would actually probably make this again and put 2 cups of water instead of 1 cup of water, and then put the sauce on top of it. You seal it 15 minutes, and it comes out, and the noodles stuck together a little bit, which was the only problem. So that's why I think I need to put a little bit more water in it so that they have a little bit more room to float, I guess. But the boys said it was delicious. I actually did not eat it because I used regular pasta instead. I wasn't feeling like having something spicy. I'd actually been fighting off heartburn most of the day. So that's what they ended up having for dinner last night, and raving reviews. They said it was really good. Okay, the other thing I made last weekend that I wanted to mention, because again, it's these, I think you pronounce it Knorr, seasoning packets that I got from the German store. So my family absolutely loves chicken and noodles, and it's I call it German chicken and noodles because it's the German seasoning packets. So I had a rotisserie chicken, again, which I probably get a rotisserie chicken every Friday when on my way home from work because my grandson absolutely loves like shredded chicken. So that's something he eats throughout the weekend. And then on Sunday, after he's eaten the chicken, I throw the remaining, like the bones and stuff, into a big, huge stock pot and make broth. So I had done that on Sunday. And my daughter and her roommate came over for dinner on their way home, on their way home from work, picking up my grandson. So this made enough because it was actually a large rotisserie chicken this time. This made enough for 2 servings. So boil the chicken down and then add in the 2 seasoning packets and the shredded chicken from the rotisserie chicken. Like I said, that my grandson was eating that. So I just put some chicken in the pressure cooker and put that in there. So I took half of it and put it in a bag and put it in the freezer for next time. And then I put the other half in the Instapot and threw in egg noodles when the girls told me they were on their way home. So these are 2 seasoning packets. It's again Instapot. There's more than enough liquid this time, and this made a ton. Like I had enough for all of them to eat, and then also enough for my best friend to have some, one of the girls at work to have some, and then one of the girls at work is also gluten-free, but I gave her some for her daughter. So there was a ton of this. So because both sauces have gluten in them, I cannot have them. So I made it with egg noodles. Otherwise, typically, if it's a sauce I can have, we do the gluten-free noodles and nobody in my house cares. They can't even really taste the difference, they say. So we do now have one bag in the freezer. So if they tell me they want chicken and noodles one day, that we can take it out and throw it in Instapot with some egg noodles and call it dinner. They absolutely love this. This is actually one of the favorite things that they cook. I actually got a rotisserie chicken on yesterday morning because I worked all day Friday and got off late. So I picked one up Saturday morning so that my grand had something to eat. So I pulled the meat off and started the bones and stuff this morning, and I will let you know what I'm doing with that in the next clip. Okay, guys, so how I make stock is actually very, very, very simple. So I pull off as much meat as I possibly can, and then I just throw the bones into a pot. And usually I am meal prepping celery, and I love putting celery in my stock. So I usually always take the middle bit, throw that in there, and then the ends and the tips is what goes in there as well. So I throw all of that in there. I used to throw, I usually take, like, if I'm going throughout the week, I have a bag that I keep in my freezer that I will throw all my vegetable bits in. Because I'd already made stock last weekend, I didn't have any, but usually like the onion top bits or like carrot peels, things like that. I have not been eating carrots lately. The texture it's not the texture, it's just that I have to chew it so much and so much and so much. By the time I get it to where like I can swallow it, it's not pleasant and it kind of makes me gag a little bit. So I haven't been eating a whole lot of carrots lately. I can do the frozen carrots, like the peas and carrots mix in like some fried rice or something. That hasn't been too bad. But this is typically what I do. I call it the carcass, throw the carcass in. And if you have a little bit of meat left on it, you have a little bit of meat left on it. It's not a big deal. Like you don't have to pick it clean or anything like that. I typically leave a little bit of the dark meat on there. Like I'll take the meat off of the drumstick, but I leave, like, if nobody ate the wings, like I leave the wings whole and I just put them in there. But otherwise all the bones and stuff go in there and I take everything off. So I put this on the stove, cover it with water, and actually quite a bit of water, and then it'll boil down and boil down and boil down. And then I'm going to use this stock this week. My family doesn't get it this week. I do. I am going to try a chicken a la king recipe that is made with cauliflower rice to make the cream sauce. So I have this going right now and I have everything prepped, and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit more in the next clip. Okay, so this is actually a fixate recipe, and this is a recipe that is the gut protocol approved, which I'm going to be starting April 18th. So I kind of wanted to test it out. I'm not a big fan of cauliflower, but I do need to expand on some vegetables and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of try it before, so that when it comes to actually eating it, I didn't make it and then I don't have anything to eat, and then I can't do the program. Well, not that I can't do the program, but I don't want to accidentally slip, because the whole point of the program is to like cut things out of your diet. So I don't want to like have sat down to eat this and it's horrible, and then like now I've got nothing to eat because I didn't try it beforehand. And I actually have a couple of recipes like that I'm going to try before I start the program. So this is a combination of onions and peppers. So because I was making fajitas, I did the variety of all of them. And then it's mushrooms and some chicken. So I just have some of the chicken left over from the rotisserie chicken that I'm most likely going to use. If my grandson ends up eating it today, no big deal. I do have some chicken defrosting in my fridge. And then these are the cauliflower pearls that I found at my store. So you could use frozen, I think, but they used fresh, and I think fresh would work a little bit better. So this is what I have. I'll be adding the chicken broth to it when it's done, and then you blend up that with some spices. I'll have to, like, I don't know, I have a recipe somewhere around here. I'm waiting for the stock right now. So I'm going to try this. I will probably actually have this for dinner tonight. And the boys will be having the beef roast. I'm not the hugest fan of beef roast, but I'm going to do the Mississippi roast, where it's the ranch seasoning, the au jus, and the pepperoncinis, and I can't have the au jus sauce because it's got gluten in it. So that's what I'll be making for them. They have it on pitas with mozzarella cheese. So they'll be good for dinner. And then I'm going to try this. So we will see how this goes. And then I'll let you know on the What I Eat in a Day video how this ended up turning out. So I am definitely interested in trying this recipe. Okay, so the other recipe that I am looking at trying this week, and again, this one's not ready either because I had to press the tofu, which I know everybody said that, and I just put it into the marinade this morning. So it is vegan BLTs using tofu as the bacon. So it's like a marinade. Put the marinade in a freezer bag. I pressed my tofu. I have my rice container on there because I meal prepped my rice for my fajita bowls, basically. It took a little bit longer than I thought, and I think it's still a little bit wetter than it should be, but this is the first time I've ever cooked with tofu. And like, I've had tofu before, like other people have made it, or I've had it at restaurants, and I've never really been a fan of the texture, but we are going to try it. This is one of the things, like, so I'm not supposed to have soy, but what I was told was that it's processed soy. So try tofu, which is just soy, and see how it does. And the bread that I eat does have soy in it. So it, as far as I can tell, hasn't upset my stomach. So, obviously doctor says it's going to be certain things, and it's just, I'm going to have to play around with things and see what does affect my stomach and what doesn't. So we're going to try this. I'm actually kind of excited to try this because I can't eat bacon. It just not sit well with my stomach. The smell of it still makes me nauseous. And it used to be one of the best things I ate. Like, I loved bacon, but again, like after COVID, I can't do bacon at all. I can't do smell, taste, nothing. So we're going to see how this goes. And if it goes well, then I can kind of have a substitute for bacon. So it is currently marinating. I will probably, and I'm not a tofu person, so I don't know if like I grill up all the tofu now, if it's going to taste good reheated. So I might just leave it in the marinade and make it as I go. Because from what I understand, I can, and the tofu's not going to go bad. It's already fermented, so it's not like, it's going to go bad. So I think what I'll do is on Monday for dinner, I will make some tofu bacon, and we'll see how it goes. So we're going to experiment with some tofu. And again, this is another Fixate recipe specifically, I don't want to say specifically, but for or gut protocol approved. So I just, like I said, I want to try some of the recipes that I'm kind of like iffy on whether or not I'm going to like, just because I know there's going to be a lot of things that I feel like I cannot eat, or a lot of things texturally that I'm not going to be able to eat. So I want to give myself as many options as possible, but I also want to try the ones where I'm kind of going to be like, So I'm going to try a couple of recipes over the next 2 weeks, almost a month before I start my gut protocol. I've already ordered it. It's on its way. So, but I will be starting it on the 18th. Okay, last couple of things. So I got a bunch of the rice veggies, so the cauliflower, and I have those in the freezer. I'm going to try and use those as often as I can in replacement of rice. Or I think what I'm going to do, like for the fajitas, I have just a plain one, and I'm thinking of doing like half cauliflower, half white rice, and kind of, put them together and make it a little bit better. And then I diced up some green onions to go with my fajitas for the week. And then I also did get a dairy-free cheese, the Mayo brand, which I absolutely love. And then, of course, my little sous chef making his favorite thing, water soup. So he literally whisks it, takes the ladle, moves it to the measuring cup, and then just goes back and forth doing that when I'm doing a lot of stuff, which he seems to be thrilled about. So plan is incorporate more cauliflower rice. And then when I start the gut protocol, I have to go to brown rice, which is fine. I actually like brown rice. And I'll probably still do the same thing so that I can get more veggies in, is I will add a cup of cauliflower to like a half a cup of rice, because I think the yellow container is a half cup, just to kind of get more veggies in, but then also feel like I'm still eating rice. So that is what the goal is to work myself up to that before I start the gut protocol. So I will be doing the cup of cauliflower, half a cup of brown rice. But this week I have white rice because I made white rice. All right, guys, that is it for the meal prep. So I will let you guys know how these 2 recipes that I'm still working on are going when I do the what I eat in a day video on Friday. And I will let you know how the fajitas lasted throughout the week, and the grilled chicken, and all of that good stuff. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for this week is Nurse Chronicles. And I got some good ones this week. So stay tuned on Wednesday. They're going to be funny. I will see you guys soon.